Hi everyone, let's get started with a yoga Sculpt-Inspired routine. On your mat, inhale all the way, exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift up, twist to the right. Inhale, lift up, twist to the left. Inhale, lift up, little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant your hands, walk, step, or jump back. High to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Jump up to your hands. Rise all the way up. Reach up. Extend to the right. Reach up. Extend to the left. Reach up. Little back bend. Exhale, down to your toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk, step, jump back. You know what to do. Meet me in downward facing dog as you exhale. Right leg lift to the sky. Bend your knee, let your foot fall over to the left. Reach up behind you, wild thing. Pivot back forward, lift that right leg to the sky. Bring your knee into your chest, send it back up. Squeeze in your right knee, plant your right foot in between your hands, rise up, warrior two. Check in with your breath. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, pivot all the way around, revolve two, side lunge. Pivot around to side angle, facing the left. Rise up, pivot to the back of the room. Low lunge, hands are in prayer. Pivot to the back of your mat. Rise up, crescent lunge. Hands to the mat, send your left leg back. High push-up, low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Shake it out. Then lift your left foot to the sky. Bend your knee, flip over, wild thing, reach to the front. Nice back bend stretch. Pivot to the back, reach your left foot back up. Bring your left knee to the front, extend your leg back, plant your left leg in between your hands. Warrior two, reverse warrior, reach up behind you. Pivot all the way around, side angle, twist it to the left. Back to side angle to the right. Look up at your hand. Inhaling as you lift back up. Pivot to the back of the mat. Low lunge. Make sure your knee doesn't overextend your toes. Pivot to the back of your mat. Rise up, crescent. Lower your hands to the mat. Send your left leg to the back of the room, high to low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. You should be facing the back of your mat now. Inhale, lift your left foot to the sky. Bend your knee, flip around, wild thing. Get a nice back bend in. Pivot back around, lift your left leg to the sky. Bring it through, send it back up. Now bring it all the way through, planting your foot on the mat. Rise up to warrior two. Reverse warrior, reach back. Revolve all the way around. Twisted side angle, facing the left. Lower your left hand down, reaching up with the right hand, side angle to the right. Bring your hands in prayer, pivot to the back of the room, to the front, and back to crescent lunge, front of your mat. Reach all the way up, hands to the mat. Right leg lift, high to low push-up, upward facing dog, exhaling downward facing dog. Now pivot to the front, high push-up, Cross your ankles over each other, left and right, left and right, left and right. Try to keep your hips low, left and right. Check in with your breath. Engage your core. Awesome job. You can do as many or as little of these as you want. Lift your right hand to the sky, side angle. Maybe lift your foot up. Maybe float your right foot. So many possibilities over here in side ankle. Back to high plank. Crisscross your ankles left and right, engaging your core, working your core. Then lift your left hand to the sky. Side plank. See what's possible on this side. So many options. And back to high plank, low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Hop, step, or jump to your hands. Grab your weights, low weights, 5 pound or below. Come into chair pose, fierce pose. Lift up a little bit just to extend into warrior 3, right foot behind you. The weights come behind you in your hands. You're working your tricep, your extensions. You're engaging your entire foot. And now do some tricep extensions with the weights, bending 90 degrees at your elbows. Do as many as you want. Check in with your breath. Use your breath. Isometric hold. Always keep the weights close to your body. Coming into half moon, it's not easy. Lower your left hand. Reach your right hand to the sky. Yes, with that weight. Keep your elbows soft. Don't overextend them. Both weights to the ground, lifting up into half splits. Sheva squats, bending your right knee behind your left knee. Do as many as you want. Then lift back up into reverse eagle. The knees are touching. And crisscross down to eagle. Bring your right leg to the back and your right leg to the front, crossing at the knees. Hold your weights close by. Take vinyasa when you've had enough. Meet me in downward facing dog. Let's jump up to the hands. We have another side. Fierce pose. You can always drop the weights if you want. They are optional. Warrior 3 with the left foot behind you. Now we're reaching out to the sides with the weights in our hands, not extending the weights above our shoulders. Keep everything below your shoulders. Squeezing in and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep the weights close to your body. Just hold. Warrior 3. Lower the right weight to the mat, coming into half moon pose. You can also keep the left weight close to your body. There's no reason to extend if your shoulder is providing some discomfort today. Both hands down, half splits, then bring your left knee behind that right knee. Sheva squats. Do as many as you'd like. Engage your core. Rise all the way up, reverse eagle. The kneecaps are touching. That left kneecap is behind the right kneecap. Hold. And now bring your left foot in front of you, cross it over, eagle pose. Your weights are at your chest. Just squeezing them in. Take a deep breath. High to low push-up, upward facing, downward facing dog. Great work, everybody. Pivot to the front, pivot back to the back. Find length in your downward facing dog. Find length and strength in your upward facing dog. Right leg to the back, bend at the knee, open up your hip flexor, and then bring that right foot to the front with your weights in your hands. Crescent pose, bicep curls. Here we go. Rocking and rolling. Try to do 10 minimum. Pivoting around to warrior 2. Press ups, 5 to 10. See what's possible. Make every move count. Keep the weights close to your body, pivoting to the back, pivoting to the front. Extending your weights, keeping the elbows soft, still pivoting. Now you're facing the back of your mat, low crescent, reaching up to the sky. Isometric hold, lower down to the mat. Kick that left leg to the sky, high to low push-up. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Left leg high. Bend at the knee. Open up the hip flexor, extend it back to the sky, bring that leg all the way through. Rise up, crescent pose, bring the weights in your hands. Tricep kickbacks. Pivoting to the front, extending back, keeping the elbow soft. Do as many as you want to. You can even pause the video if you want. Pivoting out to warrior two, check your knee. Do 5 to 10 extensions, overhead presses. Maybe smile. Pivot to the front of the room. Pivot to the back. It's not easy. Take your time. Extending your hands out or keeping them close to your body. That's up to you. Pivot all the way around to the front. Crescent pose to the front of the room. Let's lower that knee. Low crescent. The weights are close to your body. Twist with the weights in your hand. Bring them close to your body. And now isometric hold to the back. We're just going to pulse out those triceps. Why not have them burn? Working that muscle so well. Now send your hips to your heels. Stretch your right leg, your entire right leg out. Take a deep breath. Check in with your breath. How's it going? Inhaling deeply, exhaling even deeper. Bring your left leg to the front now. Get that hip flexor stretch in first. Low lunge. Your weights are in your hand. Extend them above your hand. Now just drop your weights by bending your elbow. Tricep extensions. Do as many as you can, and as many as you want to. And then send your hips back. Maybe bring the weights back too. Get your tricep extensions done while you're stretching that right leg. And into high plank when you're ready. Do a little bit of crisscrossing, engaging your core. One last push with your core. A core-friendly workout. You're strengthening, getting stronger, lengthening. Stretching everything out, losing all the tension. So do some lunges if you want to right here. Pivoting to the front, bringing the knee with you. Lowering your hips, sending them back. Active lizard. Lizard pose is the same isometric hold in the front location. This active lizard is going back and forth. And when you've had enough, let's come to tabletop position, hands and knees position. If you have sliders, grab them now. If you don't have sliders, you can do this movement without sliders. You can also use paper plates. And you're just sliding your toes, the balls of your feet, on the floor. Find a hardwood floor or a hard surface, not carpet. You can do this from low plank or high plank, and you're bringing your left foot to your left hand. Full crescent circle. We're going to do this on both sides. This is working your hip area. It's also extending your legs. It feels amazing. Slider work forces you to engage your core. You don't have an option. You've got to keep your core engaged to move your foot. So give it a try. If your wrists start talking to you, you can always come down to forearm plank. Keep the motions going. Get the work in. Do as much or as little as you want, and then come back to tabletop position. Let's sync our core. Do some cow-cat poses. And arch your back, strings pulling your thoracic spine toward the ceiling. Inhale, sink your core down to your mat again. Look up and lift your hips up, and then just pull your thoracic spine, the middle of your spine, to the front of the room. Extending spinal balance. Extend your left hand out to the front, your right leg out to the back. Even take a side balance. Can you move your hand and your foot to the side? Take some brain work too. Brain balancing and spinal balancing. And now flip around. See if you can grab your right foot with your left hand. Looking up, providing a back bend stretch. If your foot's not available this time, no worries. We'll set it back down in tabletop position. Try the other side. Right hand extended, left foot's extended. Maybe you move to the side. Maybe you just have an isometric hold, reaching out to the front and the back. Then bend your knee and see if that foot's available. Once you have it, lift up. Lift your heart, your head, your foot. Maybe smile. Then come back down to tabletop position. Sink your hips to your heels, child's pose. Grounding position, resetting position. And then open up your feet a little bit as wide as your mat, coming into Malasana. Sink your core, sink your hips to the mat, and twist with your left hand on the mat, right hand goes to the sky. And then we'll reverse that. Being mindful of where your breath is right now, and try to keep it here the rest of your day. Hands in prayer, in gratitude for the practice today. Thanks for being with me. If you want a little bit more, just come on down to your belly. Sphinx pose, looking up to the sky. Your entire lower body is on the mat, but your heart and your head are lifted. Maybe press through with your palms. Reach up a little bit higher. Upward facing dog. Maybe press through your palms a few times. Do some Cobra Push-Ups. Cobra Push-Ups are where everything, your lower body stays on your mat, but you're bending your elbows and pressing up the top part of your body. Yeah, Cobra Push-Ups are great if you just need a quick upper body workout. Now lower your upper body, forehead to the mat. Lift up your right foot. Try to keep your knee straight. Hold it in the air. And then lower it, left foot up. Hold it in the air. And then you know where we're headed. You're going to bring both of your feet up. Maybe extend your palms to the ceiling. Everything's lifted as high as you can. Your head is on your mat. Lower everything back down. It's a spinal strengthener right there. Come back down to child's pose if you want a little bit of a reset. Check in with your breath. Find that peace that you've created here. Bring it into some pigeon. Bring your right foot to the front. Your right knee is going to be by your right elbow. Your right foot goes out to the side. And see what's possible here in pigeon. Nothing should be strained. Nothing should be tense. And if pigeon is too difficult for you or you're working through an injury, you can always flip around to your back and do reclining pigeon to get that same hip stretch. Once you've had enough, go ahead, reset to the left foot